everyone, we are the 50s Chicks, and we are here for another video or podcast. I am Patricia.
Annalie.
And I guess first we're going to do our self-care check-in.
Yes.
Of course, as I always say, self-care first. Yes. Because we always need to be taking care of ourselves out here in these streets.
Yes, and make sure you put down that phone. Don't always wait for that ding to come in. Don't always be checking your phone. It's going to drive you mad. So do what I finally did after years of checking every time I heard the ding. Do what I did when I finally just said, okay, I'm just going to check it twice a day, and it makes all the difference.
Yes.
And it doesn't change how successful you are either.
No, it definitely isn't going to change that. Or even just take the notifications off. Turn those off for a day or whatever.
Yeah.
And that way you can even time when you're going to check it better, because if you hear that the notification, you're going for that phone.
Yeah.
So take the notifications off.
Yeah.
But take a break. Do all the things you got to do to take care of yourself first. And having said all of that, today's episode we're going to talk about ways of bonding. And in particular, if you have maybe a long distance type of situation going, because and I think we've talked about it before as far as our pool of options. Specific to our age group can be kind of lean. So, it would benefit us to maybe branch out, maybe to extend our, our miles or radius or whatever you call it on the dating sites to, so that you can have a bigger selection.
Can't even imagine what it's like when you're in a rural area.
Yeah,
like,
I don't even.
We're not that rural at all. Like, we have, and we have a small pool.
Right.
So I can't imagine what it would be like somewhere in the boondocks.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't even imagine. Sometimes you'll see the little postings on Reddit of the people that are saying that they're in a rural area or something like that and looking for suggestions for people as far as where to meet people and things like that. But yes, so since we're thinking about broadening our horizons so that we can add more people to our prospects. And, long distance, yes, it has its pros and cons, and there's some limitations. But there are ways that you can make that work.
And it doesn't even have to be long distance, huge long distance.
Right,
it could be, 2 hours, 3 hours away.
Yes.
And these kind of things, these bonding methods would work for that.
Right. Oh yes. So that you keep that connection, because of course we know on the phone, even at video chatting, that kind of, it has its limitations.
Yeah.
And if you are long distance, even an hour, 2 hours away, you might not get to see each other that often, a few times a month maybe.
Yeah.
So we have some suggestions for how to maintain or to strengthen that type of situation, I guess.
Okay. Sure.
And I can't even think of the word that I want to use, but okay, we'll say that kind of relationship.
Yeah, strengthen the relationship. Yes.
Because you gotta be creative in those situations, because you don't have that full access.
That's right.
So one of the ways would be to do a cooking kind of, not a cooking class, but
to cook together.
Yes, via Zoom or video chat. Yes. You both have the same recipe and you're cooking there together. And,
I think that sounds fun.
Yeah, I think it's neat. I think I would do that, and I think cooking together is the best way, whether you're with the person or not. That is a very good way to grow closer, to bond.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I can see how being long distance or being away, or even if the person you're with travels, you can still keep that connection going. But yeah, you each sharing, you already planned that you're going to make this particular meal. You each have the same recipe, and you have the video chat open, and you're just cooking together and talking. And I think that's a fantastic way to do that. Another way would be a book club. Or not like a book club.
No.
But
you read
reading
a book
together.
Yes. Yes, and then you talk about it. You can even say, like, you do a chapter a week, and then you have a discussion of that chapter.
Yeah, I think
so you
that's
kind of break
wonderful.
it down.
And I think, again, that would even be something that you can do with a partner that you're with, like, that is not long distance.
Yeah.
I think that's a fantastic way to have that connection and to bond. And with that, the movie night, the same thing. I had a long distance situation. We were like an hour away, and we would watch Game of Thrones together. And we watch a lot of things together, but Game of Thrones was the one thing that I really enjoyed. And we would, bring it up on the phone or laptop or whatever, and we'd be on the phone and we'd watch it.
And they used to have something called a watch party.
Oh, I've
They
heard of
actually
those.
took it off. I don't know why, but they had a thing called watch party, and you synced it with somebody else who was
that would be
on
neat. Yeah.
Netflix, or if it was Hulu, I can't remember. Maybe on Prime. But anyways,
That would be
so
neat.
you synced and you watched it exactly the same time. And while you're watching, you could sit there and type, like, oh my God,
Oh, wow.
and like your little comments would come up on the screen. And that was really neat.
That sounds like it would be neat. So that way you would not have to be on the phone while you're doing that.
Right.
But yeah, we did it on the phone, and we would time how we would sync it, because it shows that we would just time it on on the little clock or timer. So it's easy to do if you want to do it. But that's another one of those things that you can do to bond, and also with long distance, because sometimes there, and it's not anything that escapes any of us. Sometimes there's a trust. There's always a big trust, elephant in the room when you're long distance. So, and that way where the person is. You are together, and where that person is. Where the person is. So, we're living in reality world here. But yeah, so I think that's a neat thing to do.
I like it no matter what. Like, that's even if you're not long distance.
Oh, yes.
I guess if you're
don't
both
live in
on
the
the
same
couch,
home.
you're not going to do
but
it.
If you don't live in the same home and you're away,
Yes.
you're not together, you still do that.
Yep.
And again, you know where people are. Everybody know where everybody is. And the book club I keep calling it a book club, and reading a book, Another one, they talked about meditation sessions, being mindful, doing mindfulness, which, I've never done that with someone. Yes. Well, separately, like on the video chat or something.
Okay.
And you can play, a meditation, what do you call it? Some kind of audio meditation. I mean, I guess it would work. I've never done that with someone, but I can see how that would,
You could, yeah.
Definitely. And some people are into that in a big way, and to join with someone else and do that, I can see how that would be bonding. Travel, virtual tours, instead of actually going somewhere together, do the virtual tours. I've never done that.
I've never done that.
But there is, where you can do virtual tours to different places, museums.
Yeah, and that could actually, then you can start talking about places you want to go.
Well, yes.
So you could explore,
Oh,
I want to go
yes.
here, and then you can both do the tour and see if this is someplace, and then prioritize where you want to go.
That's a good idea
first,
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And they talked about a game night that you can do games. I mean, if you're into video games, that definitely would be the time to do that.
Indeed. Yes.
And
the only problem there is because you don't, the person traveling, if you're
if they
long
live,
distance, they would be living, so that's fine. Then you have your Xbox.
Right.
But if you're traveling, that's a little
you
more
wouldn't be able to do
tricky.
it traveling.
Yeah.
But if you were in your different homes, you could.
Yeah.
And that is a way, because there are people that share that, the gaming stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The board games, you could do a board. Each person
You
have
could
a
even
board
do
game.
words with friends.
Oh,
that
yes.
kind of thing.
Yes, definitely.
But don't look at those things. Don't look at the messaging you get on Words with Friends, because a lot of scammers are on that.
Oh gosh, they're everywhere.
Trying to put their
everywhere
little notes in there.
And music and dance. One of the ideas was a playlist exchange.
Mm-hmm.
And I did this with someone that I was dating one time. We each had our top 50 songs, and we had, I don't know, maybe a month to decide on our top 50, and then once we each got our songs, we played them all together.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
okay.
and then we put them on our playlist.
Yeah.
And that was neat. That was the neatest thing.
Yeah.
That was the neatest thing, because we
that.
shared our music, and some of it, because it's funny because some of us sometimes we had the same song, the same group, so we had to take it off and we had to pick something else. But it was really neat. It was a really fun thing to do together. Storytelling, life experiences, sharing, stories about things that you've done, as a child, showing pictures. I don't think I had ever done that with someone that I had dated.
Oh, I definitely have. Yes.
I have.
Wow.
I never did that. Huh. But that would be. I could see that as being a great thing, because you get to see the person young.
Yes, it's so fun.
And you hear the stories, the things that happen, the anecdotal little fun things. Perfect. I mean, those things are are great things to do. Let me see. And I didn't number them.
No, you did
the
not.
number. I did not number.
There's no numbers.
I didn't.
In no particular order.
And vision boarding. And I know most people know what vision boarding.
I was thinking more like the board for the serial killer. Finding
the
serial killer.
That's not a vision. No.
That's a vision board.
That's not a vision board.
It's some kind of board.
It is a board, but it's not a vision board. But most people know what vision boarding is. Where, like, if you you have goals, like setting goals, and you have a board and you put pictures and things up and decorate it, it's like you're manifesting. It's like a manifestation.
I just had another idea, which goes along with the watching a movie together. You could listen to a podcast together also.
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh, yes. Like the 50s chicks.
Exactly. And then you'd really have a conversation.
Yes, then you'd be talking. You'd really be talking. But the vision board, though, I was thinking that would be a good idea. Well, the suggestion was so that you each can see what your goals are, and things you want to do.
I guess that could really start some either good conversations
or not
very
so good.
bad.
Not so good. But I think for younger folks, it would be.
I think it would be
better.
helpful.
Yeah,
for
the younger ones that had all these, family, all this and that. But for our age group, it still would be helpful as far as, what your goals are, because some people are retiring or on the brink of retiring and what their goals are
and
for
where
that.
you want to live and
Yes.
etc. Now, it could bring up some.
Well, yeah, it can get some messy stuff out the way.
Yes.
It can get some stuff that needs to be said out of the way,
Mm-hmm.
And but I was thinking that to do it for like a relationship vision board, like to show the relationship, where are we going, like what is it going to look like, what do each of us have as far as a goal for the relationship? I think that would be a neat. Now I think you would have to be further along. I think maybe
It shouldn't happen the first week.
No, it should not, because there would be no relationship if somebody was bringing out a vision board for a relationship.
I'd like to see
That
that.
would be the end of the relationship. But yes, I think that would be a good idea. I would do that. That way, cards on the table. No, oh, I didn't know.
I feel like
all
I've
this.
done that without
The board.
vision board.
Well, yeah, usually the conversations are
the
had.
conversation.
Yeah, usually the conversations are had.
So, yeah.
The last one, well, no, it's not the last one, but also they talked about exchanging cultural information. If you're different cultures, of course, that would be, different traditions, cultures.
And I've got a lot of different ones.
Oh,
being
yeah,
from
that's right.
Sweden,
You've done that.
We don't celebrate Christmas on the same day.
Yes,
we don't
that's right.
celebrate it the same way.
No,
we
it's
don't
a
have
whole-
Thanksgiving. Yeah, there's a lot of different things.
That is. So if it's someone that don't share your culture, but I think even in the United States there are different cultures.
Oh,
There's
yes.
the South,
Yeah.
and the North. That things are done differently as far as traditions and food and all that stuff. So, but yeah, and I never think about making that an event.
Yeah.
And especially if you're long distance, because you are missing those moments, those where things would just happen organically because you're with the person. So you have to make those things happen. And the last one was volunteering together.
Yes, I love that one.
Yes, I do too. And that's something also you can do with the person that, even if you're not long distance, you can still do that, and I think I want to do that with someone.
I think that's a great idea.
Yes.
And feeling good about doing something together.
Yes.
That's a good thing.
Yes, it is.
I love it.
But yeah, because there are all different types of volunteering, like shelters and all kinds of things. Elections, all kinds of things.
Fundraisers.
Yes, for sure. So, but yeah, I like all those.
Yeah.
I like all those, and I like that that these things are broadening our horizons. We got to think outside of the box. We got to make this thing work. So that when we hit these roadblocks, because long distance is not the most desired situation, but it can work.
Yes. And sometimes you might be on the phone and you kind of, your conversation runs out, but then you have these things to go to that can be like, well, but we can do this. We don't have anything to talk about, but we can watch this movie, or we can do the playlists, those kind of things.
Yes, and they'll be fun, and it'll bring you closer together. But yeah, so I like that. I wonder what you guys think about that, and if you have any additional ideas that you think would work, or that you've used before in that situation.
Yeah.
Yep.
All
So
right. I think that sums it up.
I think we hit the end of the road on that one.
All right. So make sure you comment. If you're watching on YouTube, do your like and subscribe. And definitely comment. Comment.
Yes, because we're trying to get to 1,000.
Okay,
We're trying to get to 1,000.
And we're a podcast on Spotify. We are, as I said, on YouTube. We are on Facebook,
Instagram,
TikTok, and Twitter.
I think we forgot Twitter.
Yeah.
The other one. But yes, so follow us. Yeah.
Yep. And until next time, don't forget to live,
Laugh,
and connect. Oh gosh.
Is it doing it?
Yes, it is. Bye, everyone.